only cut 40 acres yesterday, so we're not gonna grease, but we are gonna top it off with fuel. So that just means I get to play with dibs this morning. Come here! He doesn't really get the concept of drop it and let me throw it again. He just wants me to chase him. Are you gonna let me throw it? So they want to wait about 30 minutes. It's a little too wet still. But I'm going to empty Mom's sampler. It's clean. So when this happens, you gotta turn this piece. And then it'll go in. No, stop. Stop. Hold it. Come on.
Okay, we're gonna wait 30 minutes.
So if y'all have been keeping up with the videos, y'all know that I've been having auto steer issues. And we boiled down to it was the radio. Every single time I keyed it up, it would lose auto steer signal and kick off my line and all sorts of weird stuff. So this morning we put a new radio in. Here's my addresses. Right now it's at 22, and then this one is at 23. I showed y'all if it drops below 15, that is a signal interference to your Starfire 6000 globe. I looked on Mom's, and she doesn't even have a GR6, but she doesn't even have a 6000 globe, so I didn't know that it was just for 6000s. But right here, if this is below 15, it's a signal interference. When I keyed up my mic, it would drop to 0 or 5 or 7. It was below 15, so we put a new radio in, and watch. So it's 21. Exactly, it doesn't move like how it's supposed to. That one went to 19 and then back to 23, which 19 is normal. Anything below 15 is abnormal. So, a new radio fixed it. Well, I got my header height to automatically float, lateral tilt, raise up and down, all that fancy jazz while we waited. I also ate half a bag of corn nuts and my lunch, and it's only 10:30, but we don't talk about that. We missed it by about 2 feet. I don't know if you can see the strip going all the way back to the other end of the field. Sometimes it doesn't come out perfect. Yep, you gotta love a 12-mile-an-hour combine on the road. It shakes just a wee bit.
Does help because I don't see much on this path. There's one piece right there, but it's minimal.
Okay, so it's been probably a couple hours of me running this header with the automatic controls on. The automatic control is basically lateral tilt and lift up, lift down. You know, it basically contours the ground. Which that consists of all of this, which I'm going to go over and give you my honest opinion on. So the first on the list is height resume. Everyone has height resume. Even a 9770 has a height resume. That is basically your 1, 2, and 3. So when you come out to the end, you hit 1. You want to start back in your row, you hit 2, and then you can have 3 set to whatever. I, as most people do, have 1 to pick up, 2 is normal, and then 3 is my lodged wheat setting. I like to scrape the ground with 3. So height sensing, I have that on. That is my automatic header height. That's what it's doing right now. So there is some hills and some wavy parts in this field. It'll basically lift the header up, and like right now we're coming over a hill. It's lateral tilting as we speak to basically contour the ground. So that's what it's doing. Height sensing goes up, down, left, right, and that's basically it. So far on the height sensing part, the only problem that I have found, when you come out to the end, you hit 1, like I said, you turn around, you hit 2. I don't know if my header sensitivity is too high. I've been playing with it all day. It kind of slams down. Well, the way this header kind of knows whether to go up or down or not is by that potentiometer right there. So right now it's reading about 1, 1.5. It's trying to shoot to stay in the 1 and 1.5 range. So when you have your header picked up and you hit 2 and it slams down, that needle basically goes all the way to 4. When that needle is on 4, that's basically telling the combine, hey, your header is dragging the ground, you need to lift up. So it stops going down. Well, then the needle goes back to 1, so then it goes down more, and then it goes to 4, so it stops. So it's kind of like an you know? So the way that I kind of went around that is I hit 3 and then 2. And the reason why 3 works and not 2 is because 3 is feeder house float. See right here, number 3, feeder house float, which is this icon, which is right here, which is on. So when I hit number 3, that would be, normally if I don't have my header height sensing on, I would have 2 as normal and then 3 as, you know, a number or 2 down from 2. So let's just say 2, my header height is on 12. 3 I would set to probably 10 or 9 for lodged wheat. So, but now that I have all of this on, 3 is feeder house float, and it turns into a PSI, which a PSI comes up right here, and it basically has pressure against the ground. So it kind of keeps a constant pressure against the ground. So it doesn't come off the ground. It's just how much pressure do you want on the ground. So your header is gonna be scraping the ground. I did come up to some downed wheat earlier, and I hit 3 out of, you know, my natural response is to hit 3, oh, it's down 3, and it peeled the ground to the point that there wasn't even stubble left, and I was like, oh, okay, we're not gonna hit 3 anymore, we're just gonna manually touch it. So that is something that I've had to learn. Also, the reason why number 3 doesn't basically bounce when you put it down is it doesn't read off of that potentiometer right there. It reads off the PSI, like I was saying. Okay, anyways, next is lateral tilt. Like I said, this thing picks up, down, and lateral tilts. That is amazing. I have had no problems with lateral tilting it. The next on the list is auto reel speed. As you see, I have that turned off. If you want to see what auto reel speed is, so right now this is 35 RPM. It'll spin 35 times in a minute. So if you watch one end, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, you get it. So if you come over here and turn that on, see, now it's spinning really slow. And if I slow down, see how it's really not slowing? And then I can speed back up, and it'll start turning faster. The only problem that I have is when I'm slowing down, I wish there was a minimum set. So I wish I can go in there and set auto reel speed. Like, it's nice when you're going 3.5, you know, 4.5, 5. It works great. But when you're going 1.5 or 1 or maybe even 0.5 because you lug up, your reel just almost stops. And I don't like that. So I wish John Deere had it set on there where you can set a minimum. So I want my minimum reel speed to be 30, but you could auto the rest of it, if that makes sense. Next is my fore and aft resume. I have that off mainly because I have my fore and aft on 0 at all times. The only reason why I change that is if I need to lift over something really tall, I will roll it all the way out. So I don't really use fore and aft resume. Next is real position resume. If you have thousands of acres and it is all the exact same height, that would work great. But you know, you can be cutting in one spot and the wheat is 3 foot tall, and then you can go 40 foot and the wheat is, you know, maybe shin high or knee high, you know. So you need to raise and lower your reel all the time. So I don't really like to use that. But Mom and I are both running automatic header height and lateral tilting and all of that. And we've been going over this hill without touching a single button, and it's pretty smooth. Also, if you see like random sticks out here, this field was in sunflowers last year, and this farmer is a no-till, so there are still sunflower stalks everywhere. So sometimes when you're cutting, your guard hits that sunflower stalk just right and it pushes over the weed. Everywhere that there's a sunflower stalk, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it hits the guard, you know, right in the middle and it'll cut it, but if it's right on the point of that guard, it'll push that stalk over and then it'll push the wheat over, and then the header will go over and it won't cut it. So there's nothing really you can do about that. Mom and I have sped up our reels 5%, trying to hit that stalk in and maybe try to make it go around the guard and in, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So do I even have to say it? On to the next one. Let's go. I gotta stretch my legs. And I'm sure Dibs needs to go to the bathroom, so. Well, right now he's chasing bugs. Wow. Look at that sweet ride. Do y'all see how it's really hairy on my sickle? That's how you know the straw is getting tough. I'm having a problem with it plugging up ever so often. I was trying to get the down wheat, and, well, I got the ground. It happens. It is a little muddy out here, as you can see. So when you're trying to pick up downed wheat, sometimes, you know, the sun is going down right now, the straw is getting tough. You're trying to get real low and cut it. Sometimes it just pulls it out of the ground and goes in your header, so. Not only did I get a lot of dirt right here, I also got it in the throat of the combine. That's awesome. I got most of it, okay? Mom was laughing at me when she drove by, so I might go throw a dirt clump in her path. We'll know really quick if I did a good job or not. That wasn't the test. get all of it. It's trying to plug up, meaning I didn't get all the dirt, so I was right. On my right side of my feeder house, like right on the entrance, there was a clump of concrete. It was mud. It turned into concrete. It's amazing what little bitty mud can stop this entire machine. I mean, I'm talking a ball like, you know, I could fit it in the cup of my two hands if I wanted to. Just, everything just stops feeding. It's crazy. I know that is really off in the distance. This lens doesn't have a very good zoom, but you can see the cat combine cleaning out mud as well. So everyone's fighting with it. It's not just me. No one is a perfect operator. I'm not. You're probably not. There's no such thing. Everyone makes mistakes. I guess I am doing a better time than that combine though. They were unloading and his auger boot fell off. That's never fun. Can y'all make out the down wheat? Does that help at all? I did have to...
What really sucks is that you have to peel this off the ground because it's laying flat, but then it's mud.
I slid my reel out a number or two. Basically just to reach out there and grab it and try to pick it up before it gets to the cutter bar. Otherwise it just simply won't cut it, so...
Right now at 54,000 pounds of load, I have hauled 4,050,000 pounds.
Do you see how tough it's getting? Dad wants us to pull out and go park, and we're gonna go eat. And I don't say no to food, so I'm on my way. Let's look at the radar. So, according to the radar, at 2 p.m., it's supposed to start raining. Shocker. So we'll see how the day goes tomorrow. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow.